Hey Martin, how are you, mate?
G'day, Glenn. I'm very well, very well.
Oh, thanks for making some time to chat with me. I'm looking forward to this. Um, Want to know? You've spent over 20 years making short films and commercials. So, why a shark movie for your first feature? Can you tell us how this one came about?
Well, look, it came about through the producers, Michael Robertson and Neil Kingston, who knew me through commercials. So often you get your opportunities and your big breakthrough, people that you've formed relationships and who trust you over all these years. So after many false starts and many false dawns, which I'm sure many people can relate to in the directing game, that I finally got my opportunity, and it happened to be a shark film, a genre film. But of course, I love genre and I love genre films, and that's the type of movies I want to make. So you jump in, head first.
Yeah, for sure. And shark survivalist sort of story has become a genre onto its own. Um, Over the last 15 years at least. Were you a fan of this specific genre?
Yeah, I was. I mean, of course, everyone who's a filmmaker, or a majority of people love Jaws. I mean, it's such a high watermark and such a great movie for so many reasons. And yes, I was a fan of that film, and I liked The Shallows too. I thought that was a great film, and 47 Meters Down. I enjoyed that as well. So there's been some good additions to that shark survival genre, and I definitely would watch those movies, and I definitely enjoyed them. They're good. They're good character. They've really added a bit of solid character to these types of, I suppose, the horror and the suspense as well, which elevates those movies.
For sure, and I noticed that quite a few of your producers have, for lack of a better word, quite a pedigree in the creature feature, sort of genre. Um, did that help?
Oh, I think all that level of experience, definitely helps. And they can guide you along the way and what works and doesn't work. So absolutely, it's a miracle any movie gets made in the first place. So the fact that you have people that are well versed in the genre and understanding is a huge help for any director, and in particular, first time feature director.
Sure, and as for the genre itself, do you think Aussie audiences react differently to these sort of stories given our relationship with sharks?
I think people just, I think they enjoy them. I think, the fact that it's not, they're living through vicariously through the characters, which is a lot of why people enjoy horror. That vicarious thrill. And I think because we are, surrounded by water, and we're so versed in living and growing up in water, I think there's a fascination in sharks in Australia as there is, as much as there is around the world. So I think even the audience that we had last night, people were enjoyed the visceral nature of these types of movies, and out in the water. I think we get it.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of that, did you shoot much of this on the open water? How much was studio? How much was open water?
A lot was open water, and and obviously everyone knows the limitations and how hard it is when you're shooting in the elements and on the water. So we had 25 days, and yeah, you've got tides, you've got the wind, you've got rain, you've got stingers in the water, as well as other arsey nasty things in the water. So yeah, there's so many complexities to it. A lot of it was on the water, and then there's stuff that we shot in a huge big prawn farm dam on the Gold Coast, and then there's a big water tank that we had, and then there's the other water, the like there's a big tank near the Brisbane airport, which is like a safety training sort of facility. So there's that, and there's just so many locations that you're dealing with, like a lot of films, and then in the edit suite you're patching it all together and hoping it all holds up.
Set yourself quite a challenge for a first feature.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as I said, you jump in head first, and
Mm.
you know, so a little bit of ignorance is bliss, probably,
Yeah.
because you're still wondering how you did it in 25 days, and you're looking back, and your head is still spinning. But yeah, it is. A lot of people I certainly understand the challenges of water even shooting in tanks and things like that. You for example, you want to change a lens. I mean, that could be a half an hour exercise of getting the camera out of its housing and then putting the lens on and putting it back in the water and then getting all the divers ready, then the actors prepped. It's such an exercise.
Are you a water person yourself? Do you get in the water much?
Oh, look, I'm like Eddie. Growing up in Perth, obviously and it's hot, and in the summer it's all about going to the beach or going into the pool. So I'm not a crazy surfer or anything, but I, like many Australians, I'm sort of well versed and grew up in the water, grew up on the coast. So absolutely.
Awesome. Some of these films, I guess, show too much shark, and then some don't show enough. Was there much debate on how far you guys would take it?
Oh, sometimes when you finish the movie, you don't know. I don't know. It's like
I think, like personally, I think you hit a nice balance. But yes, there must be discussion on how far,
absolutely,
how much you show.
Yeah, there always is. I mean, and you're trying to find the balance, and as filmmakers, everything you get so close to the material, and so I'm glad you feel that we sort of got there in the end, that we did get the balance right, but it's just always it's always tricky.
Yeah, for sure. And look, finally, I just want to talk about real quick. Your lead actress, Katrina Bowden. She's no stranger to horror movies. In fact, she's been in creature features herself, including like Piranha 3DD. Did her experience in creature features give an advantage, above the others?
Well, I think is such a great professional on the genre element. She's a very good actor. Absolutely, just threw herself into the part. And it was a very, very demanding part because as we discussed, you're in the water, you're coming to a new country. So that's scary. I mean, she was absolute, to use an Aussie word, she was an absolute trooper. She just really wanted to get her hands dirty, wanted to really embrace the action and the genre that she was in. And I think it comes across that way. So, and she's really proud of what she's done. And so am I. I was like, she really knows her craft.
For sure, she added a whole lot of depth, definitely. Amongst that, there's a good dynamic amongst all the characters, but she was the heart of the story. For sure.
Oh, absolutely critical. Her experience that she brings, does come through, and it's right in her wheelhouse. So yeah. Fantastic.
Yes, and that's not to diminish the performance of the others too, because it is really a nice ensemble, particularly when they're all spending most of the time on a life raft together. Anyway, look, that's about all I've got time for. But look, I just want to say congratulations on the film. Look, it's for everybody that's listening or watching. It's available on all major digital platforms that are dropped on June 30. So thanks again, and good luck with it.
Thanks, Len. Thanks, mate. Awesome.
You guys go back there. Keep your eyes open, you might see a whale.
Or a shark.
One day I was out on my own. One grabbed me from behind. Luckily, it was more of a love bite than a real chomp. Welcome to Hell's Reef.
We made it.
Hey! Shark attack.
It's got to be out there somewhere.
You've got no idea where to look. The chance of finding anything is almost zero.
Yeah, we have to try. She could still be alive.
We're sinking fast.
We're in the current. By morning, we'll be 75 k's from here.
Get a mayday out?
Not sure.
What about the rescue boat?
The current is running east. We use it to get to the coast. You're kidding. You got a better idea?
So do you think it's gone?
It's still out there. And it's close.
Everyone get out of the water!